I define myself as an artist, if that makes sense. Like, certain people will be like, I'm just an MC, or I'm just a poet, or I'm just a beat maker, or I'm just a guitarist or whatever. And fair enough, you kind of focus on your trade like that. But I like to at least kind of experiment with all sorts of art and forms of expression, should I say. So I like to paint. I know I'm not good enough to actually present that to anyone, but I enjoy doing that. Do you know what I mean? And so for me, obviously the writing of the lyrics, that's the most intense for me in a sense. So I would consider myself to be a lyricist first and foremost. That's what truly satisfies my soul. But ultimately, art is art, just like in music. Yes, you can define it as being rap music and hip hop culture and drum and bass and jungle and put everything into little boxes. But I think, if you find a way of expressing yourself, you can also find different ways of expressing yourself and use all of those. So just being an artist, that comes truly from your soul. And that's what I kind of try and focus on overall. What motivates me lyrically, or what motivates me to write lyrics, it's quite hard to define, because I'm that, you get some people who they just always writing. They spend all their life just writing. Me, I'm kind of hot and cold with the writing of poetry or rap or writing anything. I go through phases where I won't write for 1 or 2 months, and then all of a sudden I will pick up a pen and pad, and stuff will just kind of stream out about all the experiences I've built up in that time. So I think it's just life that ultimately motivates me. And again, the what kind of relates back to the last question, just a need for expression, a need to share, a need to, share a message, and, let that open for discussion and put it out there as a thought process, and then we can talk about it afterwards. So I think that's really what really motivates me, is just to share what I have understood about life in my sense. And that doesn't mean that it's all right, but by sharing it, it can then be discussed and then can get a reply to it, you know what I mean? The energy when you perform on stage, it's one of the most special moments. It's when you really, if you're in it, you have certain performances you're happy with yourself because you might have made a little mistake that a lot of people won't even notice, but you as a perfectionist know that that's kind of put you off or whatever. But when you're really in it, that's pure freedom. I mean, I've got a poem that I sometimes perform, and I start by saying I write because I'm compelled like the sun and the moon in their orbit, And I finish that poem off by saying, so this is the moment in which I completely feel bliss, or something along those lines. Do you know what I mean? And it's yeah, that's apart from when you're really deep in the studio, those are the moments I live for, man. Yeah, that's that pure energy. That's that pure artistic expression in the moment, and you can feel the energy from the crowd, and you can feel your own energy and how it communicates, and it gets you buzzing, man. It gets you buzzing for sure. Well, poetry. I mean, it's had quite an effect on my life in the sense that it came to me fairly early, but not by reading other poets or anything, but just by me writing my own stuff and just feeling again the need to express myself. Um, I think more profoundly, rap has influenced me, which obviously is poetry, but some people don't consider it to be that. But hip hop culture, that's really what really influenced me. Um, and I just found that within that sometimes it's hard to express the message, which led me to spoken word. And I guess Saul Williams specifically, kind of because he treads that line between being a musical artist and being a spoken word artist or written poet, had a profound influence upon me, and just made me understand that whatever your voice is how you express it. And I think sometimes within hip hop, within the whole kind of you know the kind of whole ego thing that exists within hip hop in many ways, that sometimes gets lost a little bit. While in spoken word, that's still quite pure. Your expression is your expression. I think that's specifically what I've taken from poetry mainly.